How's it going, guys? Today we're going to talk about Purifier Squads. Stick around and enjoy the show. Purifier Squads. Let's go through some stats for them. They have a movement of 6, a weapon skill and ballistic skill of 3+. They have a strength and toughness of 4. They have 2 wounds. They have 3 attacks base. The Knight of the Flame, which is their Sergeant equivalent, he's got 4 attacks. Leadership 8 with the Sergeant, Knight of Flame, Sergeant equivalent with a 9. And a 3+ save. So, on the surface, they just come across as regular Strike Marines. They've got their Stormbolter, Nemesis Foresword, the Frag and Crack Grenades. So what makes these guys special? Now, they don't get access to Brotherhood. Okay, that might suck for some people, it might not. But what they do have access to is they can take all the regular melee weapon swap outs, but for every 5 models in the unit, up to 2 Purifiers can have their Stormbolter and Nemesis Foresword replaced with 1 weapon from the special weapon list. So, unlike the Strikes, they can have 2 weapons for every special weapons for every 5, as opposed to every 10 guys. So they get a few extra special weapons if you need them. Okay. Special weapons, like I've mentioned, they're not fantastic. They're not horrible, but they're not fantastic. You take them sparingly and in calculated positions in your army. Now, they have the Knights of the Titan, Combat Squads, and Teleport Strike. Teleport Strike is a new thing for them. In all the older books, the thing that used to be painful with Purifiers is they never had a way to teleport onto the battlefield unless you spent CP, things like that. So they now finally, at last, have Teleport Strike. The thing they've got now is that they don't have Brotherhood, so they don't synergize as well. But it's not that big of a problem, I don't think, because they do have a couple of other specialties. So we've got Cleansing Flame as a special ability for them. Each time this unit attempts to manifest the Purifying Flame psychic power, add 1 to that attempt's psychic test. So with the Psyker abilities they have, they can attempt to cast 1 psychic power, and they can attempt to deny 1, and they know Smite and Purifying Flame. Alright? So their special thing, like some guys get Hammer Hand, things like that, they get Purifying Flame as their built-in psychic power. Purifying Flame is pretty good. It has a warp charge value of 5, so these guys get +1 to that, so they cast on a 4. If manifested, the closest enemy unit within 9 inches of invisible to this Psyker's unit suffers 3 mortal wounds. If the result of the psychic test was 11+, that unit suffers D3 plus 3 mortal wounds instead. Alright? Now, you see the term unmodified quite a bit. Right there. If this result of the psychic test was 11+, that unit suffers D3 plus 3 mortal wounds instead. There is literally nothing there that says unmodified. So straight off the bat, they've got +1 for their Purifying Flame. So that goes off on a 10 for these guys, as opposed to a 11. Okay? So Psychic Locust, I've just checked. It only gives +1 to Brotherhood Psykers, so they don't actually buff that from that one either. So that's a bit of a bane in the bum, but it is what it is. Now, the thing that does suck with Purifying Flame is that it is 9 inches, okay? So the problem is you're not going to be able to just drop them in and smite the crap out of people like you do with Smite, right? They just don't have the range to come all in from Teleport Strike all at once. You're basically going to drop in 1, they're going to pop it off with the stratagem to give you extra 6 inches, and then they're going to get shot and killed, right? Unless you charge in with them or whatever. So if you're going to do this Purifying Flame, you're going to have to go turn 2, bang, turn 3, bang. And if you really want to have 1 on the board turn 1 and gate them, you can, but then you're basically just throwing away lots of units. They're a little bit more expensive than Strikes, only 1 point, but I mean, you don't want to be doing silly things a lot. But having 1 unit of these guys, it can be cool. They do have a special stratagem as well though, which I think is actually quite cool. Now, having someone that can cast Sanctuary on them, it's actually pretty good. It means they're going to have that 4-up invulnerable save. They used to have a thing in the old book, I think, where a stratagem gave them a 4-up. But now if you take a staff in the unit, you can do the stratagem now for a 5+ invulnerable. So, their special stratagem, it is called Untainted and Unbowed. Use your stratagem in any phase when a Purifier Squad unit from your army is selected as a target of an attack. Until the end of phase, each time an attack is allocated to a model in that unit, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of that attack to a minimum of 1. That is expensive. It's a 2 CP stratagem, but it is the only kind of damage reduction you get in this book, aside from one relic, I think it is. Relic or Warlord Trait. I think it's a relic. But that's, if you've played against or with a Nurgle force, you'll see how that can be really beneficial. You won't be doing it every turn. You'll probably use it for 1 turn to keep them alive somehow. There's a stratagem you can do when you come in from reserve that's neg to hit as well. You can do a few little tricks like that to keep them alive. And you've also got your Apothecary if you need to, that can bring one back. But being able to have that in your back pocket to go, hang on, bang, neg 1 to damage. That can keep them alive that little bit longer. So there is a lot of damage 2 stuff out there these days. But yeah, that's the Purifiers. They're basically kind of a bit more novelty, a bit more technical kind of strike squad. They don't get that reroll hits in combat like the strikes can get from Hammerhand, and they don't buff off different Brotherhood keyword auras and things like that. So they're kind of like a go in, smite the crap out of them with their special smite called Purifying Flame, do a bit of damage, charge in, do a bit of damage, and essentially every game you'll be sacrificing them to the slaughter. But anyways, that's them. That's the Purifier Squad. Till next time, keep being awesome.